I am Delores Thomas, Data Processing Technician for Consumer Protection Division.
And how long have you been here?
46 years. I came here April the 1st, 1978. I was born in Washington, D.C., but most of my time I spent here in Maryland. But I've also spent a lot of time in the country with my grandparents. They were sharecroppers. Every summer I went there, I learned how to pick cotton. I learned how to hoe cotton. I learned how to slop hogs. I learned how to kill chickens. I learned how to milk a cow. And a lot of people look at me and say, I can't believe you did all that. I said, you know what? It helped me to be a survivor. I had 5 brothers and 6 sisters. And so I've kind of been the matriarch of the family. So everybody looks to me. How are we going to do this? I've buried 4 of them. I've buried my mother, and now I'm caring for a brother that's 77. I'm only 11 and a half months older than he is. And I feel like, look, boy, I'm your sister, I'm not your wife. I do it because I said, I never know who's going to have to take care of me. See, and if you do the right thing, I just believe the right thing comes back to you. That's the way I live my life. I worked 10 years around the corner at an insurance company for 10 years, and I left there, and I got my license to become an insurance agent, but with them having to work at night, during the day they were free, and I had an 11-year-old son, I said, I need something that's more steady and just consistent. I ran into Bill Birch, who was the Attorney General at the time, and he was getting ready to run for governor, and he said, well, come to my office and I will set you up with somebody with personnel. And that's how I got here. It's not what you know, it's who you know. When I came here, we didn't have a computer. And what I would do, we would log our work in 3-part paper. And I would take those originals up to the state office building and they would key punch. And then on Wednesday, we would get printouts. We would be in 4 or 5 carbon printouts. And so I would distribute all those printouts to the different offices until we got our own computer. We got a computer, I think, in 81, the Wang system. And we did all the backups every day, and then once a week we would take everything off the system and reinitialize and put everything back on. I've had the pleasure of working for 6 attorney generals now. It was first Bill Birch, then Steve Sachs, Joe Caron, Gansler, Brian Frost, and now our current Attorney General. So I've seen a lot of changes that have happened since I started. We've moved several times. When I came here, we were at 131 East Redwood Street. We went to 26 South Calvert, then we went to the Muncie building. And in 1989, we moved in this building. And this is where we've been. And we've just had a lot of people go and come. And, hey, I've enjoyed doing the work that I do, so I kept going. And I had strength enough to do it. And I felt like at almost 78, most people are gone by the time they get my age. So I have a spiritual foundation. That's what keeps me sane, and I don't get caught up in too many things that happen. I feel like, listen, you take the good, the bad, whatever you have to do, you deal with that. And you don't stress yourself out over a lot of things. So, a lot of things have changed, but I haven't changed a lot. I feel like I'm the same person I started back years ago. That's what keeps me on point, Having a good foundation. When you have a spiritual foundation, you don't let every little thing deter you or distract you from who you are. I know who I am, so I'm not trying to get a title or position or being validated by anybody because I'm satisfied with who I am. If I wake up one morning and I feel like, hey, no, I have had enough, then I'm going to say, get my retirement papers together. And see, complacency is one thing, but when you let everything that comes destroys your peace, it's not just complacency, it's that you have learned to deal with the good and the bad. See, that I'm sure there were some days here because we went through recessions, we went through job freezes. All of that could have made me bitter, and it could have made me, disenchanted with the way things went, but I've kept going. And because I have a peace of mind and I'm not letting who comes or who goes. I said, they'll come and they'll go, and I may still be here. Listen, children, you'll learn that you take the ups and downs, the bitter and the sweet, and you'll be a survivor. I say God has been a preserver and a keeper. That has been my strength. That has been my foundation. That has kept me through all the years. That sometimes when things were somewhat negative, still I kept a positive attitude because that was was gonna bring me through.